Welcome to another Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on our Connection show this week. Each week we bring organizations into our studio and talk about what's going on in their various organizations and how it affects the communities that we cover around our six-county area. And we do appreciate all the organizations and all the volunteers. A lot of them have volunteers that are not even paid employees. They just help make those organizations sustainable and also help make them successful. And we do appreciate everyone in the various organizations, and we're glad that you call us and ask to be on our shows, or we call you after a certain period of time when there's certain things that we need to talk about. We have two really good organizations we're going to talk to today and how they affect the community and the people living here. Stay with us. Be back in just a moment.
Baby, it's cold outside, but it's hot inside Shelby's baby department. We have warm swaddling blankets by Little Unicorn and soft plush animals and matching reading books by Jellycat. Our bath accessories and unique toys by Aiden and Anae and Cloud Bee make great gifts. Come by to see our ever-expanding clothing and accessories for babies and toddlers by Minnetonka. And cozy pillows in a variety of colors. Our baby books help make memories to warm any cold night. And don't forget our baby registries and free gift wrap.
Engine threats lurk around every corner. Corrosion, wear, and gunk. Stay ahead of engine threats with Shell V Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. The best total engine protection you can get. Choose a breakthrough in premium gasoline.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio today have been with us numerous times, and we always enjoy having them to come in and talk about the important things that they do for our community. And we're talking about Grandma's House, Cody Tatum and Kaylee Evans. Thank you both for coming in today. We appreciate it. Good to see you both again. Hadn't seen you in a while, Cody.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I've been hiding.
Kaylee comes in. We got to make sure she doesn't mess up her knee again. You know?
Right.
She's been on the DA disabled list, like they do in the sports.
She has injured reserve.
We got to keep her off the disabled list. No more sporting events.
I'm trying.
You guys both doing good. Made it through the cold weather.
Yeah, doing good. Luckily, I prepared my whole life for that kind of weather, so I'm well insulated for it.
You prepared your whole life. Well, it's good. Good to have you both here, and we're going to talk about several things today. Maybe just in case somebody's watching, maybe that have not seen interviews with you guys, a little bit about Grandma's House, and neither one of you just go ahead.
Sure. So, Grandma's House, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We work with child abuse victims and family, primarily with sexual abuse, but we do see all types. So really we're just a place that can offer support to the child and the family, through the investigation process, and then really walking with them after that process, to whatever comes after that, be it support services or what have you. Just trying to make sure that, above all, the child's taken care of. And we can do that, again, by, supporting the caregiver as well. So it's just kind of our role to make a process that's, inherently not child-friendly, as conducive to the child's healing as possible.
Yeah. I remember, and I'm trying to think, I should have written it down here, but several years ago, and I can't remember, but Michelle Steiner, who's the director there, came in and we talked to her when Grandma's House first got established here in Harrison, and it has come a long way since that time. In fact, staff members, you've changed, and you guys are there now. How many do you have? You got Isadora, who's the newest member of the group, I guess. Right. Of course, Kaylee joined. How many staff members do you have down there now?
So, including Isadora, we have 5 full-time staff members, and then we contract out for our trauma-focused therapists.
Okay.
And then we also have a sexual abuse nurse who contracts with us.
Okay. So
And then, of course, Michelle, who is technically only part-time, but she's always there.
Technically only part-time. And Cody said, I said, you guys take off when the school's closed for snow. He said, depends on how Michelle's feeling that day. She likes for us to be there. So
Yeah, she's a fan of it.
Well, you've done a wonderful job. And we're going to talk a little bit more, but you interact with various agencies. DHS, I know, is one of them, Arkansas State Police, Crimes Against Children, 14th Judicial Task Force, and so forth. It really truly is a network that makes this all work, I would assume.
Yeah, so we call it a multidisciplinary team approach, and
Okay.
Arkansas is actually one of the only states that mandates that from its investigative agencies.
Okay.
So it's a great process. When you think about this and how this would have worked, prior to us existing, or just back in the day, if a kid tells a teacher at school, she may have to talk to the principal, the school resource officer, and by the time she's done or he's done, they've had to talk to 10 different people. And so what we've done is condense that process down. That child can come to our center. They can be interviewed by one of our trained staff members. And that team that needs to be a part of that can all be present for that. Okay. So we're reducing the number of times that kid has to talk. We're talking to them in the way that's most conducive to them developmentally, and really helping to coordinate that team approach. So, it's not just, I'm going to call this agency, I'm calling this person. And it really personalizes that approach, and much better outcomes we see across the board by working closely together like that.
Wow, that makes sense. In the inner workings of the program, do you first find out about the situation usually through school, or how does it vary, or how do you find out about this problem?
Well, it certainly varies. Any of the services that we provide have to be requested by law enforcement or an investigative agency for the more investigative side of things. We receive calls all the time from concerned parents, and I would encourage anyone that has questions to please give us a call, because if nothing else, we can walk you through the process to get that started, and we're able to assist on that end, irregardless of the other situations. So, we kind of start with them, and then just kind of follow their lead. We're not investigators; we're just there to support. So we offer some of those services on the front end, and then our role from that point on is simply just to support the child and family, be it with advocacy services, getting them in touch with the other great resources like you mentioned, or getting them in to see our therapists for some trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. It's kind of our role there. So we do, of course, one of the things I've branched out to doing is doing a lot of prevention education.
I was going to ask you about that.
So getting into the schools, I was fortunate to get into the Ozark Mountain School District last year, and it was a great opportunity to really educate the teachers. They know they're supposed to report and things, but kind of not sure what happens after the fact. So I was kind of able to fill that in a little bit, I hope, and worked out well. So
that I would think you going into the schools like that, in any of the schools, and speaking again with staff at those schools to let them know maybe some signs, or
absolutely,
how to recognize maybe issues that maybe they've got all this other, they're trying to educate and do all the other things, and sometimes it kind of goes over the top, not meaningfully, but it just happens like that.
It's the kind of thing you don't know until you know. I mean, that's the reality of it. So I would encourage anyone, get with your schools, get with your PTA. I would love to come in and do that. Of course, everything Grandma's House does is free of charge. So you're exactly right. Getting those signs and symptoms and really just kind of opening that door for them is hopefully tremendously helpful. And, the end goal here being getting these kids help.
The Michelle, I think last time you guys were in, and maybe Kaylee, I think you came with Michelle last time. Funding wise, for those out there watching, you're a 501c, I know. You get some funding, federal, state, I can't remember exactly, but then you have to raise a lot of the money yourself. Is that kind of the way it goes?
We are funded through several different entities on kind of almost every single level, but a lot of our funding does have to come from public awareness events that we have, or just from blatant fundraising events that we're going to be doing. And we're actually not kicking off our fundraising season this year until May, which we're going to do our second color run. So that's going to be pretty fun. But something that we really started doing last year that we had never done before was doing public awareness and fundraising events both in Carroll County and in Boone County, because they are the primary counties we serve. And that really kind of helped open the eyes of the communities that we serve just a little bit wider, just to kind of see a little bit more and understand what we do and get our name and our business out there. And we were talking earlier and we told you that 2 years ago we saw 274 children, and then in 2017 we saw 311 children. And it's not great that the numbers are going up, but it's good that people know about our services, and we are not blind to the fact that a lot of people know about us because we're at community events. We're at Agri Days in Green Forest or the Ice Cream Social in Berryville, and we have booths here in Harrison during the fair, and we're trying to get our names out there, and we try to raise funds because we're always going to need more help. We're always going to need to buy new equipment so we can keep up to date and serve the kids as best possible.
You know, many times organizations like yours, people out there don't really understand it, and they think it's complicated, and so they just don't call. They just don't, you know what I'm saying? So I think the education part of it, being out there in the community like you're doing, the making the public aware what you are as an entity, how you operate, how you do things, and it's okay to call, because even if you don't take it over immediately, you know, as you said, Cody, you know where to move them in the right direction, which eventually probably will obviously come back to you, but it starts other places to make it work correctly.
And that's the thing, you know, this legal system, the investigative process, it's not simple, you know, but the great thing is it doesn't have to be complicated for them.
Right.
That is exactly what we're there to do. So, you know, I get calls all the time, and just walking them through that process, you know, that's a scary world to have to step into for them, I can imagine. So let me mitigate that, you know, let me make the phone calls, let me get the ball rolling, let me get you all the information that you need and simplify it as much as possible. The less stressed they have to be about that part, the more able they're going to be to support, you know, the family member of the child that's going through it. So that's really what we're all about. So,
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your, I'll call it the expansion, even though Michelle started this thing in Carroll County, but your new facility, maybe talk a little bit about Berryville and what's going on there, either one of you.
Okay, so we did just move to Berryville. We've been in Green Forest since 1993.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
The year I was born.
She's just a pup.
I know. I give her.
That's what everyone says. So just in October, we officially purchased a new building in Berryville, and in mid-November, we had a kind of a move-in day, and it's up and running over there. And as Cody said earlier, as of right now, the center in Berryville is only providing forensic interview services. Okay. But we are working and hoping that, I'm thinking by about mid-spring, summer at the latest, we're hoping to be fully, be more on our way to being fully functional, to be able to provide the sexual abuse exams for the children that we see that have been raped or just kind of harmed. We're working on having room and the equipment needed for our more therapists to come in and work with the children in that county, and kind of get ourselves going.
And I think that's going to be a big boon to the area. You know, our center in Harrison has all those services you mentioned: the forensic interview, the forensic medical exam, the therapy, you know, all of that stuff. So being able to have that all in Carroll County as well is just going to increase the number of kids that we can help, you know, rather than them having to drive over here for therapy, drive over here for the rape exam. They're going to be able to get that, you know, close to their home, and it just makes the process easier. And, you know, Carroll County is very important to us. All of our counties are, but, you know, like you said, we started there, and the area deserves, you know, to have that setup, and we're working very hard on it. You know, again, that's, you know, where we need the community's assistance and the fundraising and everything like that. Unfortunately, especially the medical equipment is not cheap.
No.
So, you know, getting all that stuff and getting stuff that's good, making sure that we're getting the best quality that we can is important to us as well.
Yeah, you said earlier, a lot of times people don't understand absolutely everything that we need, and through fundraising we can kind of help educate them there. Because a lot of the times our primary donation is stuffed animals, which are always welcome. We are now able to have stuffed animals in Carroll County and Boone, but we also need more than that. We always ask for help with cleaning supplies and snacks for the children that we see, because a lot of times we see them at the end of a school day, or they're coming in for their therapy services after a long day, and mom and dad and all the kids are tired and would like a little pick-me-up with a snack and a drink. But also, as Cody said, we're needing to build a new medical room. We need to get our therapy set up, and so monetary help is always kind of going to be what we need most.
We do really appreciate you coming in. We appreciate what you both do for Grandma's House and the entire organization. And if you're out there watching and you don't understand what Grandma's House is doing, give them a call. They can explain it to you. They'll be happy to. And they're very important. They play an important role in our community. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for
Tell
having
Michelle
us.
I said hi, and keep moving forward. I want to come up to your Berryville location and check it out in the near future.
As soon as we get everything set up, we want to do an open house, and we'd love to have you over there.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
please.
Thanks for both coming in. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with another organization that plays an important role in our community on Connection.
Whether you are making a resolution to live a healthier lifestyle in 2018 or you've been making health a priority for years, we want to be your go-to health food store for all the tools you need to make conscious food and supplement choices each day. At Nature's Wonders, you'll find a large variety of organic produce, organic and natural grocery, grab-and-go foods, a full espresso bar including smoothies, and the largest selection of supplements in the area. Our experienced, knowledgeable staff is waiting to help you find what you're looking for. When making healthy choices, we hope you'll choose Nature's Wonders.
Engine threats lurk around every corner. Corrosion, wear, and gunk. Stay ahead of engine threats with Shell V Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. The best total engine protection you can get. Choose a breakthrough in premium gasoline.
Baby, it's cold outside, but it's hot inside Shelby's baby department. We have warm swaddling blankets by Little Unicorn and soft plush animals and matching reading books by Jellycat. Our bath accessories and unique toys by Aiden and Anae and Cloud Bee make great gifts. Come by to see our ever-expanding clothing and accessories for babies and toddlers by Minnetonka. And cozy pillows in a variety of colors. Our baby books help make memories to warm any cold night. And don't forget our baby registries and free gift wrap.
Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% APR for 60 months on the all-new 2018 Camry. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence. Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our next guest in the studio today is actually from an organization that we've never really talked to before, and I'm not all that familiar with the organization, so we're glad to have her here to explain what they do, and it involves children, obviously. Sabrina Berry, thank you so much for coming in, and it's Riders United for Children.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you gave me a brochure here. So that people out there that may not be familiar with the organization, what is your your mission statement, if you would?
Our mission statement is to, I have to kind of read it because we
That's
just
okay.
revamped it.
Right.
Riders United for Children, RU4C, is a child-centered, non-political, result-oriented 501c3 organization which exists to end child abuse, help children and family in need through educational, financial, and social means.
Okay. Well, so I think you were telling me before the show started that the organization itself has been in the Harrison area for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? So it's a national organization.
It is a national organization.
Okay.
It originated out of Fayetteville. Dago is our founder, and he started the organization to kind of help broken families, to fill in the gaps where other organizations we were seeing maybe were falling through some cracks.
Okay. So you're basically you're helping children and or families, or is that kind of elaborate a little bit for me?
Well, for instance, anything, if let's say a mother in domestic violence, that family is, that child or children, they're going to all be affected by the dynamics of that. So, for instance, we had a situation here in Harrison where a woman, victim, was actually kidnapped, held at gunpoint, and shot at. And luckily, by the grace of God, she was saved from that situation. The child was there with them during this whole ordeal. There was a loophole in our justice system, and they allowed him to come out. So we worked with the woman and the children, and the prosecuting attorney's office wanted her to a safe place. So we stepped in, and we helped with financial means to move her and physically moved her. We just took a Saturday and just literally moved her from one place to another and relocated her to safety.
I got you. So, almost like a safe house type thing.
Yeah. Well, we just moved her into a home, into another place. But yes, we would work along with Sanctuary, Grandma's House, any of the organizations that the call. To make sure that the kids were taken care of. And we know that there's other resources out there, so we will work alongside with them.
So, and it's ironic, really, that Grandma's House was just here right before you on our show. Do you, as far as the references, or how do you find out? Where's your first step to find out the need? Which it comes from Arkansas State Police Crimes Against. Where does it come from? It
could come from numerous places. Yesterday morning, we received a call from BACA, Bikers Against Child Abuse, and we actually got a referral from them because what the situation was, it was more into our guidelines, and so they referred a child to us, and so we kind of worked that way. We work with DHS. We're working along with them in hopes to get a mentoring program going for foster care children. We're working on that now with them. We're going to be working with CASA with their teen mentoring and working along with them on that. So we get many referrals from different places. It could just be a parent calling us. I had a young lady come in and say, my child's been abused, I just need support. And so we just come in and we do an intake, and then we vote on taking on this family, whether it be financial or, what have you, whatever the need is. And then we go out and we become a support for that child and the family. It's not just that child. We're going to help all the kids in the home. We're not just going to single one child out.
Sure. Do you have like an office or a facility? Do you have some place, or are you just online, or how does that work?
We meet every month at Harrison Housing Authority, actually.
Okay, right.
And we use their conference room for our meetings. But we also have a website. It's www.ru4c.org. We have a local Facebook page, RU4C Harrison, Arkansas chapter. You can look us up on Facebook. So we have different, we have our phone number, which is 870-577-7817 or 870-577-3515.
Okay.
And that's a local number. And so there's many ways of getting in touch with us if a child needs help, or if a family is, if you're just wondering, do they meet the criteria, give us a call. We'll talk it over and figure out what the problem is, what the situation is.
So you really do a lot of similar things, I should say, I guess, that, for instance, maybe Grandma's House, they've got, they take it a little bit further on out, I guess, because they've got the specialist, and
yes,
which I doubt that you get into that part of it.
Right.
But you also interact with those
yes.
Organizations
yes.
a lot. I could see where actually your organization we have CASA come on. In fact, they're coming on again in our show next week. But I could see where an organization like yours could be very helpful to somebody like a CASA, where they're mentoring. Their job is to mentor and stay with these young people through the court system as they make their way through the very complicated juvenile court system.
Right.
And I can see where your organization would be very, very helpful in that side of it, particularly because you're familiar with some of this and the way it works, and you're already volunteering your time. And okay, so I see you've got your vest on here,
Yes.
which is typically someone who is involved in a motorcycle organization.
Right.
So did it start from a motorcycle group? Is that where it started? Is
Yes.
that what you're?
Yes, it started out as a motorcycle group,
Okay.
and we have, for instance, in April we'll ride for an awareness ride, and we want to collect money because it takes money to help. We don't just help individual children; we also help organizations. For instance, the Call. We have given them gift cards or gas cards. We're helping a child actually this afternoon make a trip to Little Rock for a specialist, for a child to see a specialist. So in order to help and maintain these, we have to bring in funds.
Sure, absolutely, yes.
And so we're doing a 100-mile ride, and so we try to get people to donate for that. That's going to be in April.
Is that what you have here as your next event?
That's going to be our next
So that's going to be a fundraising event
Yes.
for you. And
Yes.
tell a little bit about it. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Is it start here in Harrison?
It will start here in Harrison, and I don't know the route yet. My husband will put that together. He
Okay.
enjoys doing that. And we usually get together with some of our surrounding chapters, Mountain View, and whoever wants to take place. And we love for other organizations to CMA, any other organization, bike organization that wants to ride with us, or just an individual. And so we're going to ask for donation, and we'll go through, we'll go out and solicit funds and try to bring funding in for that. Another way that we get funding is we work the AMP at Rogers, and we work the concerts.
Okay.
So we do sales for the beer and wine, and we get 100% of the tips, and then a certain percentage, and so it goes into a large pot that divvies out to all of the chapters that help. So.
Good. Okay. Roughly, we've got a couple minutes left. But
Okay.
About how many members would you have roughly in Harrison? How many members?
In Harrison, we have 6 people in our chapter right now.
Okay.
We're fairly small. We would love for other people to join in, and I think they will.
Once they hear.
They hear about us. And
Right.
So
But I would think like Springdale would have.
they have a lot more than we do. Yes.
Yeah, quite a few people.
Yes, and Fayetteville and Fort Smith, the bigger towns have a bigger
Right.
bigger group. But we're growing.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, you've certainly got it. Your mission is certainly a worthwhile mission that you've taken on, as many organizations in the Harrison area and surrounding areas, when it has to do with abused children or families that are in abused situations or just need help, and in foster care. We talk about the Call and so forth. So it's good to get you in here and find out a little bit about. I'm sure being a new organization, you need exposure to get the word
thank you
out
for letting
there.
us come in.
So if somebody wanted to find out more about it, could they just call the 870 number?
Yes.
870-577-7817. If you're watching the show and you'd like to find out more about the organization, it's called Riders United for Children. And obviously they've got a brochure and a good mission statement. So thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
coming in
having us.
today, Sabrina. We appreciate it. And as you go forward, give us a call and we'll have you back on and
Well, I
talk
appreciate
about maybe
that.
right before your ride, get
Oh,
people
that'd be
involved.
great.
Come in and
Wonderful.
talk about
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you again. Appreciate it. And thanks for all your hard work in the organization.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Connection today. We hope we brought some information to you perhaps you didn't know about. We'll see you again next time on The Connection Show.